Wednesday, March 22nd, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I like to talk about the dollar index today and fiat money or fiat currencies. So I do cover the dollar index once in a while, mainly to follow the strength or the weakness of the dollar against other fiat currencies. But in the long run, the dollar index is an irrelevance not in my opinion, as a fact. And it's a huge distraction to investors all around the world who want to protect their wealth against the debasement of fiat currencies. And why do I say that? Well, we need to go back basically 44 years ago to when the dollar index was created. And I've got Wikipedia here, and it says US dollar index started in March 1973, soon after the dismantling of the Bretton Woods system. At its start, the value of the US dollar index was 100. And it says it has since traded as high as 164 in February 1985 and as low as 70.698 in March of 2008. So where are we right now on March 22nd, 2017? Well, surprise, surprise, the dollar index is at 99.72. So hasn't really moved in 44 years. So to all those people who think that taking a position in the dollar index will help them hedge currency exposure and protect the purchasing power of their US dollar holdings or their euro holdings or British pound holdings, they're very deluded. It might help in the short term, but in the end of the day, fiat currencies are all sinking. They're all sinking. They might be sinking sometimes faster than another fiat currency, but they're all sinking towards the bottom of the fiat currency, ocean, to the bottom, which is zero. So if you look at gold, for example, which is real money, as well as silver, I've got LBMA data here. I know a lot of people don't like the LBMA, but they do keep a good record of the gold price. So on March 1st, 1973, gold was fixed, or the price fix in the LBMA was $86 per ounce. And that was when the dollar index was 100. Right now, as I make this video, gold is trading $1,250. 1,250. So gold has gone up 14 and a half times against the US dollar. And the dollar index, if you hedged as an American investor back in 1973, you bought a basket of currencies to hedge your exposure, to the debasement of your home currency, the dollar, you would have been, stuck at 100. You would have made nothing with a dollar, putting your money in gold, your dollars in gold in 1973, and coming back now, you'd have 14 and a half times more. So it's a total, distraction, waste of time. And that's why, I encourage people over the long term, you need to, if you can, save, in silver, physical silver and physical gold. I mean, it depends on how much wealth you have, how much savings you got. I like the maple leaf. I like the the half dollar, 1964 half dollars. They're one of my favorite coins. And gold, I've got here a quarter of an ounce US gold coin, 90% gold. And this is a really interesting one. I don't think I've shown you. It's NM Rothschild and Sons 50-gram gold bar. So it's at least 49 years old, because they used to own the Royal Mint Refinery, the Rothschilds, until 1968. I know it's from the enemy, but I don't care. It's a gold bar, 50 grams. So that is like 1.6075 ounces of 999 gold. So yeah, that's what will, keep your purchasing power. And I've been talking about this for over 10 years. I've got an article here that I wrote in 2007, and it says currencies, they're all sinking. And I'll read a little bit of my article. It was written April 2007, so almost 10 years. It says, last December we wrote they are all sinking about how our present monetary system is a dollar-based system and how it has evolved. We also noted how all major so-called hard currencies, along with the dollar, had been losing value against gold since 2001. So I go through, how the British pound, the euro, the Swiss franc, and the Japanese yen have been doing. And back then, 10 years ago, for example, the pound was at $342. 300 gold in pounds was at 342. The gold in Swiss francs was at 823 francs, and the euro was, let's see, at 502. Gold was 502 euros, while the dollar is 684. So that was 10 years ago. As I speak now, looking at all the different gold prices, different currencies. In dollars, of course, we're at 1250. In euros, we're at 1155, so we're at 502. In British pounds, we're at 1003, and we were, let's see, what did I say here? 342. So that's a huge move higher in British pounds. Swiss franc, we were at 823, and right now it's 1237, the gold price of Swiss francs. I guess the Swiss franc has outperformed the other fiat currencies, but in the end of the day, they're all going down against gold and silver. And that's why in the short term, in the last 5-6 years, gold hasn't performed well if you bought at the top in 2011. And that's why, it's important to dollar cost average, as they say. Buy as much gold and silver as you can whenever you can, and not worry about the price, because it will average itself out in the long term. And the other point I wanted to make is that yes, the dollar index is an irrelevancy. It just helps you determine the relative price of fiat currencies that are all, sinking. They're sinking at different times. They sink more than others. The pound has been sinking more lately. In the future, the dollar will sink maybe quicker against the pound. But the main thing to remember is that they're all sinking as a whole against gold and silver. And that's why the major central banks in the West, and also now in the East, like the Chinese and also the Russians, that's why they have gold. Ron Paul asked years ago Ben Bernanke in Congress what gold was, and why central banks still hold it in reserves. And Ben Bernanke said it was just because it was tradition. And Ron Paul, laughed in his face. Yeah, really, tradition? So I know that a lot of people don't think the West has as much gold as it has. There hasn't been an audit of Fort Knox since the 50s. But yeah, so dollar index, yes, keep an eye on it to see how the dollar is doing against other, how can I say, what did Hillary Clinton call them? The deplorables. Yeah, keep an eye on the dollar index just to see how the other deplorable currencies are doing against the deplorable Federal Reserve note. But if you really want to protect your wealth and savings for the long term, you need these here, not the dollar index. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, there's some links below in the description. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.